तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जना शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. This is Sutta Goswami explaining about Krishna's pastimes. So he started with the pastimes of Pandavas, and then previous chapter was about departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka, and now, and before that is passing away Bhishma Dev and Pinkunti's prayers. Now Krishna's entrance to Dwarka. We're going to hear, and this is a very special chapter. The reason it is special is we are getting a full glimpse of Krishna, which is only available in the 10th canto. Full glimpse of Krishna, but we are just going to get a glance of it, just a sampling of it. I mean, and this kind of chapter, or this kind of theme is not so vividly present until until we go to 10th canto. There is a little bit in between third canto and some parts like that, but here we're going to see the glance of the full picture of Krishna and his devotees, which is present in the 10th canto, and especially the sweet feature, that is the feelings of attachment separation. So this is very, very special chapter. We'll pray to Srila Prabhupada and our parampara to receive the gift offered through this chapter. And the yesterday's verse says, how was it, how was Lord feeling when he comes back home, right? It is like that of a situation. A father, with kids, the smaller kids especially, he goes on a vacation or India for some long trip and comes back, right? It's a festival. Just this weekend, we were with Imran Prabhu's family, and then he went to India, and then kids were waiting. When are you coming? When are you coming? And the next thing is, what are you bringing? What are you bringing? And then he was coming early in the morning, though it is very, very early in the morning. They went to airport, picked them up, and brought them in. So uh, that also says some important things in our life, to say that, you know, um, you know, as George Harrison puts it, all we need is love. We want to be loved and we want to love, and that's been the journey of the soul. Um, and wherever even little is available, it is so precious, right? Even in the animal species, if the owner of the family is away for some time and they come back, even dogs, they are so happy, and they wiggle their tail, and then they jump around, go around, and so on. Another example I was thinking is even horses, like just go and pat them, they just become so happy. um, so that kind of says, uh, by the mercy of Bhagavatam, one Bhagavatas, we are all in desperate need for love, and we want to love. Only thing is, in this material world, it cannot last permanent, and it cannot be full. The separation or the joy only can stay, for some time, and then the miseries of this world kicks in, or the persons do not have that limited, do not have that extent, um, what Krishna can provide. So that's a kind of a theme, and especially the text too says about even the inanimate object, not just animate objects, animated, beings, like the animals and the human beings and everyone. In the conch shell, uh, what's the feeling of conch shell when Krishna touches? And two lessons we're going to get is that one is, that this verse says us we are spiritual. That's the lesson I'm getting. One lesson is we are spiritual beings. We are not material beings, or we are not rocks, or we are not inanimate objects. Most of the time, uh, we think, and we conduct ourselves in that way, as if we are a metal or a rock. There is some exhibition of the feelings and all those things little bit, but most of it is, everything is duty oriented. The our conduct in this world is more of that, duty oriented. I'm supposed to do this, I need to do this, that's it, I don't have any other option. uh, like, I'm already doing this, that kind of a more, uh, uh, that kind of a that's a kind of a conduct more, mostly. But there is always, there is a saying, right? There is a will, there is a way. But somehow we, this atmosphere tends to make us believe that we're inanimate, or you know things like that. So Prabhupada explains we're spiritual, and um, the other one is even the inanimate object, the ecstasy of an inanimate object when touched by the lotus feet of Krishna, lotus hands of Krishna. So with that, we'll enter into the verse. Sauchakase davalodaro api urukramasya daraso nasonima dadmayamana karakanja sampute yatabjakande kalahamsa utsavanaha Saujjakase Davaladaro Daro Api Urukramasya Darasona Sonima Dadyamana Karakanja Sampute Yatabjakande Kalahamsa Utsavanaha. Sa, that, Uchakase, brilliant. became brilliant. What is that became brilliant? Davala Udaraha, white and fat bowled. It's again the description. And what is that? White and fat Dara, conch shell. Api, although it is Urukramasya, it is held by the great adventurer Urukramasya, right? We know who is that Urukrama, and then what is the level of what is the level of his adventures, right? Every moment is just performing adventures, and not just one adventure. He is performing like thousands of adventures at a time. Urukramasya, and then he held it. Other Adarasona, by the transcendental quality that he held his lips, fat, bowled, fat bowled conch shell. He held to the lips. What happened? Sonima reddened. Dadyamana, when it's being sounded, Khara Kanja Sampute, being caught by the grip of the lotus hand, yata as it is, Abjakande, by the stem of lotus flowers, Kalahamsa, ducking swan, Ussavanaha, loudly sounding. I want to share one thing, that I always remember, one thing that happened in our life. So we were moving in our apartments, and we went to a new apartment. It happened multiple times. I felt this thing. Maybe you also must have felt, or you can observe next time. So when we go to the apartment, it's like a dry place, basically without touch of Krishna, right? It's a dry, like, just go, like, like that. But somehow, the moment we set up the altar in the room, the glow of the room just changes. It's very magical. I don't know, all of you watch for it. There was another place, actually. The devotees, they got this house. Before they move in, actually somebody broke in. So I was a bachelor. I was, safeguarding. I was sleeping there, and I was there for weekdays. But the day after moving, the moment we put the altar and we put, Lord Chaitanya and every paraphernalia there, that's it. The whole atmosphere got transformed. That's the power of Urukramasya. And here we're getting a glimpse of what this white and fat bowled conch was feeling. And then this chapter goes into more of other devotees. What is that feeling? Uh, Very nice. Try to catch hold of the feelings of this. Uh, you know, uh, Important residents of, associates of Krishna, actually. Translation: the white and fat bowled conch shell, being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him, appeared to be reddened. It became reddened. Conch shell. I don't know, how it will be right. It is possible. By the touch of his transcendental lips, it seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems of a red lotus flowers. Such an ecstasy, right? Purport. The redness of white conch shell, due to the lip touch of the Lord, is a symbol of spiritual significance. The Lord is all spirit, and matter is ignorance of this ignorance of the spiritual existence. Factually, there is nothing like matter in spiritual enlightenment. And this spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So this is the take home for us. We are living in this world, we're getting along, and of course there is some spiritual touch, but it's not lasting. It's not really bringing the complete fulfillment, although there is small glimpses. But how do we get the fullness? Is by making the contact. Uh, is the fullness is only limited only to the sentient beings or human beings? No, it is applicable to everything, animate and inanimate objects. What is it we need to do? Just try to make the contact. Of course, then it goes into famous dilemma by the people. Oh, Arjuna has Krishna. I don't have anyone. I don't have the direct contact with Krishna, and so on. That's a different topic, right? It is there. Otherwise, like why we are here, but we only need to make the best use of the what is available, and Krishna has made some arrangements. We have to find it and you know perfect our sadhana, and for sure we'll get to this. So the Lord is present in every particle of all existence, and He can manifest His presence in anyone. By ardent love and devotional service to the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord, everything becomes spiritually reddened like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. And the Paramhamsas, or the supremely intelligent person, plays the part of ducking swan in the water of a spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the lotus Lord's feet. Should I read the purport again? The redness of the white conch shell, due to the lip touch of the Lord, is a symbol of spiritual significance. The Lord is all spirit, and matter is ignorance of the spiritual existence. Factually, there is nothing like matter in spiritual enlightenment, and the spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. The Lord is present in every particle of all existence, and He can manifest His presence in anyone by ardent love and devotional service to the Lord, or in other words, by spiritual contact with the Lord. Everything becomes spiritually reddened like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. And the Paramhamsas, or supremely intelligent person, plays the part of ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the Lord's feet. Just another quick example. Uh, we take food, we eat food, right? Before coming to Krishna consciousness, is the same food. It is satisfying for sure, and everyone looks for it. Uh, but by when we come to Krishna consciousness, by the mercy of you know, our beloved Acharya Srila Prabhupada and his representatives and his in our life. So we make that spiritual contact. We learn the process, how to cook, how to offer, and then we offer that food to Krishna, and it gets spiritualized, isn't it? And then it's very magical in our lives. All it's the same food. So um, there is nothing like matter in spiritual enlightenment. Our spiritual enlightenment takes place at once by the contact with the Supreme Lord. The food gets spiritualized, and the Lord is present, and He can manifest His presence in anyone, in anything actually. There is nothing. Um, we were hearing from the prayers of Lord Brahma, right? How um, Krishna expands. He's into he's everywhere, and He can manifest His presence in anyone. But the way to do that is by ardent love and devotional service to the Lord. The same thing we do for the offering the prasad. We take the instructions and we follow the process, and we offer prayers to our acharyas, disciple succession, and Krishna takes it. So when we, especially if we can spiritualize everything we are contacting, and we can spiritualize as ourselves the same way, and also can provide this opportunity to the people whoever we come across somehow, um, provide that glance of the power of ardent love and devotion service to the Lord. whether it be whether it may be direct or indirect, it's possible. So that way, um, we can also feel the redness of conch shell, and also experience the ducking swan in between the uh, stems. What is the thing Prabhupada says here? Uh, Plays the part of the ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of Lord's feet. Uh, this is my offering, Prabhus and Matajis. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Um, anything you want to um, anything you want to add? Um, embellish, I mean, em- embellish it, yeah, embellish it or enhance it. And then comes tomorrow's verse comes the Dwarkavasis, who are the servants, and then we get into different people, citizens, all those things. So this is the ecstasy of the white bowel conch shell, gripped by the hands of the Urukramasya adventurer, great adventurer. It's just the one opportunity, one you know, one moment, and how it was to the conch shell. The similar thing happens with Govardhan also. And Krishna lifts the Govardhan increases his size, to so long. I don't remember the measurements. Govardhan becomes excessive and then becomes so big. Um, so that's um, our natural position. That's the power of touch of the Lord, contact with the Lord, and that's also actually our natural position. And what we are in now is not that natural situation, and there are a lot of limitations. And then in our software world we say blockers. There are a lot of blockers, not just limitations. There are also blockers. So um, anyone, thank you very much. I mean, every time I was thinking, I don't know who are all there because I was not familiar. This time I see a lot of you devotees names here. Uh, thank you for your encouragement by being there. Uh, that's it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Haribal Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was thinking when I was reading this verse, what you explained. So the way you read the purport, Prabhupada purport is so, like poetic. The way he
Mm,
translated, then the way you read it, it made more, impressive or, the more meaning to it, I got it at least. So the example, whenever we add Krishna, or like the example that you gave, as I can relate to it. When you're moving to house and there is nothing, Krishna is not there, but as soon as you had Krishna, so
yeah.
it beautifies the place.
Family succession. It is such a change in atmosphere, really. Like it's, turn on, turn off kind of a switch.
Yes.
Until then, like even the other place I was sleeping, right? It was with fear because there was already somebody broke in, and actually they broke in through the window. So there was blood stains. It's a scary thing, right? Blood stains and all those things. Um, it was a little bit scary thing. But when altar came, everything got changed.
Yeah, I remember. One point you always say, add Krishna to it.
Mm,
Everything changes. So
yeah.
yeah, and inanimate things also, gets reacted.
When inanimate things also, they, I find it in the initial days when I drive my car, even the car, it kind of feels like car is feeling happy. It may be my separate feelings. So I didn't bring up that example, but it looks like that.
Mm. Thank you.
Even like the inanimate objects, when we are using Krishna's service, it looks like they have more longevity.
Mm.
But I didn't bring that thing. Because it may be my neophyte sentiments. So okay, 7:30. It's a working day. Uh, thank you all very, very much. Hare Krishna. Hari.
Sri Kishore Prabhu is saying something.
No, I'm saying Hari Bol.
Sri Kishore Prabhu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, Prabhu. I was just wanting to appreciate Vamsidhari Prabhu's class. Prabhu, thank you very much, Prabhu. I was able to relate to that. Having altar at home changes everything. That is my experience too.
mhm,
Since the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, I have been seeing that wherever we place this altar, especially I feel like I don't have any connection with
yeah.
Krishna or Gaurnita. I can't feel much connection, but especially when we keep our acharyas, I feel like they are actually bringing Krishna and they are holding Krishna there, and I mean that gives the entire charm. We have seen that in our old house and even this house,
Mm,
even in the last 10-15 years, whatever, wherever I went, I was always keeping the altar first and keeping it in a prominent place. In
mm,
fact, that is one of the instructions I received from His Grace Radhesham Prabhu
mm,
on the day of our marriage. That day he said, like, there is a TV and there is altar. TV represents Maya life and altar represents spiritual life. So
mm,
Krishna is supposed to keep altar in the most prominent place of the house, whereas today people are keeping it under the staircase or something, and TV is occupying the most prominent place of the
mm,
house. So he said that, and I always wanted to follow that,
mm,
and it really changed everything in our lives, Prabhu.
mm.
So we are trying to do that. We are trying to keep altar in the most prominent place of the house, so everyone is able to gather there and appreciate Krishna's beauty. So thank you for bringing that up, Prabhu.
And it looks that's the easy way of devotion service also.
Yeah,
I remember hearing that when you put the altar in the center of the house, like Krishna in the center of the house, so everything you do, like even if you're cleaning it, it kind of equates to cleaning the temple.
yeah, yeah.
And even working becomes a spiritual activity, and the family relationships become spiritual activity like that. So thank
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
you, Prabhu, for embellishing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mat.
All glories to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the very nice class, Prabhu. I was recalling something which I've heard, that when Krishna plays the flute,
Mm,
the calf is becoming, I mean, it is drinking milk from its mother's udder, but it becomes uninterested, and it becomes like a doll, and then the inanimate things start vibrating because of the soul in the even the inanimate, the super soul is present, and Krishna is
mm,
calling it, by his flute, and they're vibrating like that.
mm.
I was reminded same way, when Krishna's lips touch the conch shell, which is seemingly inert, but it acquires so much redness.
Yeah, this chapter is really
Very,
sweet. We
yeah.
hear how we
Thank you very much, Prabhu. The way you read it, the way it was very, very nice, touching. Hare Krishna.
are encouraging, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, 7:35. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Aglo Shishil